your goal is not enough.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Geek-A-Tech. So in today's video, we will see uh, interview questions related to constructors in Java. Okay, it's a very important topic which mostly asked in interview, and it is very useful to know details about the constructor because it's a key component of the core Java. So we will see a couple of scenarios today to understand that what scenarios mostly asked in interview and how we can deal with them. Okay, so let's start with the constructors. So first question is that can we write this and super keywords in a constructor altogether? Okay, so can we write this and super keywords in a single constructor together? So we will see that what will be the output. Will it give us an compile time error? We will see will it give us a runtime error? Will it give us the exception, or it will run properly? Okay, so we will see. So now let's start. So this is my class. We create the constructor. Okay, this keyword. Okay, uh, then super. So here you can see that we received an error. Okay, super must be the first statement in the constructor body. Okay, so we cannot use super and this altogether. If I try to write it just in the opposite manner, again for this also, because this will be the first statement in the constructor body. So answer is we cannot use these two keywords together in the constructor. Okay, we will receive a compile time error for that. Okay, so this was the first scenario. Now see the second scenario, how we can copy a constructor value. Okay, how we can copy a constructor. So let me demonstrate that to you. So first let's create a constructor. Okay, okay, before that let's uh, create two variables. Okay, mhm. Okay, 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 now let's create a constructor. Okay, we are creating a parameterized constructor, so we can assign the value to a and b. Okay, using the constructor. Okay, so this is the right way for assigning the value of a class using the constructor. So as these two variables are not accessible outside, so if we want to use them, then we can use or we can assign the values to those private variables using the constructor. So this is the correct approach for that. Okay, now let's create one more constructor. Okay, so I will tell you why I did this. Okay, a equals to obj a, b equals to obj dot b. Okay, so what we try to achieve here is that we are creating a one more constructor which accept the object type value. Okay, so here this constructor will accept this class type value. Okay, this class type object reference. So you can consider understand it in the way like integer x. Okay, so here instead of int we mention class name, and instead of x we mention the another variable name. Okay, so using this we are going to assign the values a and b. Okay, what does obj dot a and obj dot means that the current object holds assign the value. Okay, this current object holds the a and b value. Okay, so it will be different from A and B because it is associated with the object. Now let's create a method which will display the value. Okay, now let's create the object. Okay, by creating the object we are going to call the constructors. G1 new. Okay, so as we don't have any non-parameterized constructor, so we need to pass the value to this constructor. Okay, so we are going to pass value 5 and 4. Okay, so it will call this constructor. Okay, okay, so what this constructor will do, so here you can see that it highlighted this one. So this constructor will be, so when we create this obj2 object, okay, then this constructor will be called as we are passing the object reference variable. Okay, so once when we assign this object reference variable, so it will hold the values of the constructor also, the 5 and 4, and we assign to this one. Okay, so let's obj2 dot display. Okay, so what it will do, obj2 will call this display method. Okay, and it will display the value of a and b. Okay, but how it will going to assign this value, as this value has already been assigned by obj1 here. Okay, and we have copied that object. Okay, we just copy that object and try to print those values. So let's see. Here you can see a equals to 5, b equals to 4. Okay, so this is the copy of an object. Okay, so this is how we can copy the value of a constructor to the another constructor. Okay, that's clear. Okay, so now the very important question has been asked in many times in for constructor topic, is that how we can achieve constructor chaining. Okay, so what constructor chaining means, that using one constructor we are going to call the another constructor. Okay, so this is called constructor chaining. Okay, so we are going to, when we call the child class constructor, then it will call the parent class constructor. Okay, so this is called constructor chaining. Then how we can achieve it? Okay, so many times it's been asked that how you can achieve constructor chaining. So let's see. Okay, okay, we have created for the parent class, we have created constructor teacher string name. Okay, system dot println cons plus name. Okay, and here the constructor chaining class is extending the parent class. Okay, so this is the child class and this is the parent class. Okay, so for achieve the constructor chaining, what we are doing, we are creating a constructor. Okay, and what we will do, we call super. Okay, and in super, which we call, if we are not passing any value, then it will call this constructor. Okay, if I'm going to pass a value, okay, then it will call this private constructor. Okay, so this we will call as constructor chaining. So now let's create the object for this class. So constructor will be called, oh sorry, let me, okay, so what it will do, it will call this constructor, and this constructor will gonna call this. Okay, so it will print the value for this. Okay, so this is how constructor chaining works. Once we create the object, so when we creating the object, this constructor will call, and once this constructor will call, it will ask for super means the parent class constructor. Okay, immediate parent class constructor. So it will call this as we are passing the parameter. Okay, so it will call this parameter and the value will be printed. So let's see, here you can see the parent constructor hello is called. Okay, so sometimes it happens that we want to use, when we want to assign some values, or we want to create some objects which assign the value to the parent class. Okay, when we are using the child class objects, we are creating child class, but we want to assign the values to the parent class constructors. So in such case, constructor chaining is used. Okay, so this is the third question. The fourth and very important question is asked that, can constructor mark as private? Okay, so many times it asks that, can we mark a constructor private? So let's see, or what we will receive. Do we get any runtime error or compile time error? Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let me just close this one. Private constructor. Sorry. Okay, so this is, so first thing we know that it will not give us any compile time error. Okay, we can create this constructor as a private. Let me run the code also. Then we can confirm that will it give us a runtime exception or a runtime error, or will it run properly. Okay, so let's run. It's run successfully. Okay, we didn't get any runtime exception or something like that. Okay, just now let me call this particular constructor with using the no by assigning the value. Okay, so private constructor called. So private constructor can be called, it can be created. Okay, so it is possible to use it, and mostly it used for the singleton purpose. Okay, when we want to use the singleton classes, then we are creating the constructor as private. So it's a whole new topic on that. I will create a video on the singleton classes also, but for time being you can say that yes, for the singleton purpose we can create a constructor private. Okay, so this all four scenarios today we have discussed. The first one, can we use super and this keyword together in a constructor? So the answer was no. It will give us a compile time error. The second question was how to achieve the copy the value of a constructor to the another one. We saw that how we can do that. The third one, we saw how we can achieve constructor chaining. Okay, with an example. And the fourth one, that can we declare a constructor private and what is the use for it. Okay, so these are the four basic frequent asked questions related to constructor. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you everyone for your love, your support. If you're new to my channel, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to press the notification bell. Thank you very much.